Hey people, how you doing today? Hey, listen, I'm going to start this off by using a part. I like to thank my good friend, Bald Fat Sicilian. I'm going to use a part of your video, my man. So now you have the opportunity to copyright me. But I got to use this part of your video because you're out there saying a bunch of shit, dude. It just ain't the truth. I don't know what happened to you, but you know, it's funny. 2, 3 days ago, before this all really started going down, he would call me on the phone and he would be setting up his studio and stuff, and he didn't know how to use StreamYard at all. So he would ask me. He would say, "Hey, how do I use StreamYard?" And I would help him. And then he would call me up and ask me other stuff, and I would help him set that stuff up. And the following day, after all of this, he just went off on me. Didn't even have the decency to call me. But if that's who he is as a human being, that's up to him. But today, you know, I'm trying to keep you out of this. And today I don't understand why you keep bringing me into this. Then I figured it out. If you look at his statistics, especially on money that he's made over the last 3 days attacking me, and same with the mouse too. I got to call him a mouse now because his station has become a mouse. Okay, so basically, they're making a lot of money. They're making more money attacking me than attacking Johnny A-Light. Think about that. I mean, they're raking it in, and they accuse me. And one thing that people that come into my show know, I don't ever ask for money, ever. I never say I got a Cash App. I never say, if you want to give, you can give if you want. I never tell people I'm out of work. You know, I have no job no more. So if you can help me out, because you know why? I don't need the money and I can pay my own bills. And if anybody ever sent me anything, what would I do with that? It wouldn't really mean much to me. So I would tell people, don't send me nothing. You know, all these cracks and stuff. And I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to answer this stuff. Now, this is where this guy's going overboard. I want you to see how overboard this guy's going now. But I understand. He's just trying to make money off talking about me so he can continue doing it. So here we go.
I'm not even going to name fucking names because people are rats and they try to get these channels taken down and everything else. But I think you know who I mean when I say somebody out there went after MobRats Exposed, and I believe, I don't know if he got suspended or what happened, but apparently he's not going to be on for 3 days. And people are, a certain person anyway, is the cause of all this. He is, you know, doing copyright strikes, and he's just upset because people are picking on him. And I don't think he understands the definition of the word rat, because what you're doing is ratting. So I'd rather not hear you talk about rats anymore. I think everybody should feel the same way. What you're doing, you're being a rat. That's what you've been doing. This is not the first time. You ratted on somebody else before and got him in trouble. And
so he's saying that I ratted on Gene Barillo, which is a lie, and he knows it's a lie. And Gene Barillo knows it's a lie because Gene Barillo knows who it is that ratted on him.
Let me add Jeff to the stream real quick, and then I'll go on.
And this guy coming on, if you guys remember correctly, Jeff's first show was with me, as was Sicilian's. Sicilian came to me because he was at 300 subscribers, wanted to build his station up, and my station started taking off. So the first show Sicilian was ever on was my show. I don't know if you people remember that. And the first show that Jeff was ever on in this genre was my show.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, how are you, buddy? Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. What are you up to?
We're talking about a certain person on here. I'm not going to name names today, but
the coward doesn't have enough guts to say my name. My name is Lee. Just say my name. Everybody else in your chat room says my name. Be a man and say my name.
You might know about somebody doing some copyright claims on somebody,
Right.
and possibly getting their channel suspended and maybe even taken down permanently.
Sounds like a rat move to me.
That's that key word, right? Isn't that some shit? Somebody rails against rats, rat this, rat that. They hate rats. You should never rat, blah, blah, blah. Only cowards rat. And then you start ratting on people. And this isn't the first time. You ratted on someone else before, and I came out then and said he shouldn't be doing it. I didn't name him specifically, but I think people knew who I was talking about. And even when not ratting directly, okay, if you put the idea in somebody's head, like, I don't know.
Look at little man Jeff. He's in here answering me. Jeff, if you attack me, what do you think I'm going to do? You think I'm just going to let you do it? I'm going to fight back, Jeff. And that's the Sit Down, an organized crime podcast. He's there right now. I've done 18 shows before this. You did 18 shows on your station. On your channel. And then you came over to this new genre. And when you came over here, the first person to take you on was me. Remember that? And now you're on Bold Sicilians. And you're in the background starting all this shit because you're a little rat, dude. You are a snake.
Say you were to come on YouTube and say something like, boy, this guy's got a lot of papers on him. Somebody's going to wind up calling probation. That's what we call dry snitching. And that's a dog whistle. That's a way of telling people, getting it in their heads like, hey, we should call probation on him. You know what I mean? We should, you know what I'm talking about.
I will tell you what you were discussing right now. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm going to assume I know who you're talking about and what they did.
Listen to him. I don't want to mention no names. I assume that I know who you're talking about, but I'm not sure. This is what you call gutless wonders. You guys come to my channel. And when you come to my channel, the one thing I could promise you is that I don't do what these guys are doing. If I got something to say, I'll just say it. But this is what they're doing. They're legitimately working together to shut my channel down. And now that they lost their leader, they're going to blame me. And I'll explain to you why the mouse, who used to be the rat, no longer has a channel. But maybe he's going to come back in a couple of days. I actually hope he does. I don't think anybody should have their channel taken down unless it's for really, really strong reasons.
And I'm going to guess I think I know who it is. I'm not going to say their name if you don't want to say their name. But listen, there are people that have become informants that do this kind of stuff. But I will tell you this, there are a lot of people that are doing what you're doing, these YouTube channels. Okay. Look, there's a certain guy that has a website about a certain guy.
Okay, well, basically, let me shut that garbage down. I wanted you to see that because they're making accusations that ain't true. First of all, I had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the rat having his station temporarily suspended, I hope. But because it happened, I'm the most logical reason for them to say it's me. And the fact of the matter, it's not me. Even though I could have easily done it because the rat kept saying Amber Alert in my name. Otherwise, he was calling me a child molester, someone who kidnaps children, which is a total lie and a blatant attack. If you want to attack me on some kidnapping bullshit, which isn't accurate the way you've been presenting it, by the way, if you want to do that, you can do that. But once you say Amber Alert, dude, I could have filed a complaint there, but I did not. I woke up this morning and the person that had your channel taken down emailed me. And you know what they told me? They told me you used racist terms against him. And he reported you to YouTube. And you used racist terms toward him after he asked you why you were going so hard at me. You had him kicked out of your chat room, and then you made remarks about his nationality. That is why you got taken down. You use race continuously in your language, and then 2 days ago, the rat had the troll. Let me rephrase that. He had a show where he wrote it in Italian. and he used the F-U-C-K word in the sentence to begin the station. That's not allowed either. The guy who's a rat has a known history of being a failure in other stations, and he's known for attacking people brutally. When he came on here, he claimed that his show was all about attacking John A-Light, but then he spent the next 5 days attacking me. Why? Because his subscriptions rose dramatically, his watch time rose dramatically, but most of all, his donations rose dramatically. And the same thing with Bald Sicilian. So Bald Sicilian's going to be happy that I'm doing this video now, because you know what he's going to do now? He's going to do a show tonight. And what he's going to do as he's doing his show, he's going to say, I'm going to counter Lee because this is what Lee said. He's so predictable. And all he had to do was call me last week and say to me, hey, Lee, I'm upset about this stuff. Let's talk about it. I would have talked to him. But you know what he did? He had to be dramatic about it. He had a show just on me saying, I'm getting tired of this Lee Cole guy. And then I like to tell the rat, you told me your station was going to be around and that mine wasn't going to be. Guess what? I'm still here. MRE. See, sometimes when you say stuff, it's called karma. Karma came and got you. Okay? And that's what happened. Karma came and got you. So how about you guys doing a show? I'll make you guys a deal. Just do a show and keep my name out of your mouth. And I'll start doing the stuff I want to do. I want to start doing stuff to offer the people here that has nothing to do with this back and forth attack crap. I got a lot of big stuff coming up. I got major people that are going to be interviewed here. Is this what you guys are really upset about? Because I go out and say, I'm going to have John A-Light come here and I'm going to interview him. So you're upset about that? I'm his friend and everything now? I am not friends with John A-Light. That is you guys saying that. So why don't you guys do your job and go out and get real people to interview? Stop getting people all from one side. Go out and get real people to interview. Go out and get people that have ratted actually and ask them why they ratted. Bring them in your show. Have a nice, if you can be friends with Jimmy Calandra, who's a rat, but not yet interview rats, that means you're full of shit. Because Jimmy will tell you he's a rat. And that's your Bald Sicilian. You're good friends with Jimmy. So there's lots of rats out there you can interview. Get some rats in, interview them. Let's cut this shit out, guys, because what's going to happen, none of us are going to be left. Right now last night I had a bunch of people coming in using racist terms inside the chat room, and I had to get them out right away. What they're trying to do is you have outside people coming in now trying to end all these channels, forgive me. And this is what's happening. So now we can, okay, look at Brooke. Okay, watch my mouth, but watch my click too, Brooklyn. There it is. You're gone. Okay. See, I'm not going to have anybody come in here that wants to be nasty and take sides. Unless you do it respectfully. Just say it. If you want to question me, and there's guys in here that have been questioning me a long time. Fat Bald Sicilian, if that's you, I'm going to tell you something, dude. You were wrong. If you want to come on this show right now, I'll bring you on. Do you want to come on and defend yourself? You claim that I did something that I did not do. You said that I had the Rat show taken down, which is a lie. So be a man. I'll click you in right now. And you could tell me why you think this. And you could tell people about the stuff I used to do for you to help you, right up until the time you decide to jump against me and whatever. You know, the end thing to do. The end thing to do is be against Lee. But here's the difference between me and them. I'm not in this for the money. I enjoy doing this. As a matter of fact, I would challenge them, Bull Sicilian, just go on and talk. Don't bring nobody on, just and see how popular your show is. And Jeff, Adu, I would challenge you. Go get your own show, dude. You got your own station now. Why do you have to live off other people? Why do you have to come on other people's shows? Are you not capable of doing your own show? So go get your own show. But nope, you guys ain't gonna. Here's gonna be a thing tomorrow or tonight. Probably with Sicilian tonight, because he's a tough guy. So the tough guy is going to go on and he's going to do a show tonight saying, this is why Lee Cole's wrong. And then he's going to attack me. And I tried to avoid this with you, Sicilian, but you didn't allow me to avoid this with you. And look at that. You're not in the room. Did you take off? You don't want to come in and talk to me and tell me why you're the way you are? It's amazing. You think that I'm going to sit here and let you shit on me and I'm going to take it? I'm not going to do that. It doesn't, if I lose people, subscribers, that's unfortunate, but I'm willing to deal with it because you're not going to shut the show down. The only way this show will get shut down is if somebody gets in here like they did with the mouse, I got to call him the mouse now because he doesn't have a show. If someone gets in there like that, but that's what happened to him. I'm going to tell him something. If you're going to get another show back up, or if they let you get your show back up, which I hope they do, and I would say to YouTube, please let the man have his show. But if you're going to let this guy get his show back up, stop with the racist stuff, dude. You say so much racist stuff in your show, in using Italian words. If you don't like somebody in the chat room, you call them names. You make fun of people's genders. You make fun of their sexuality. This is what you do. You call me a pedophile. So try not to do that. Just try to have a show. See if you could last on your own merits. And I would tell you the same thing, Sicilian. Can you last on your own merits? And that means doing a show without using me to get you people watching your show and getting you money in your pocket. Just do it on your own, dude. Is it that hard to ask somebody? But they won't. They'll continue with the Lee Cole thing. Because it gets them, you have a lot of demented, twisted people out there that love this stuff. They just love when you attack people continuously. But, this is a rarity, though, because they're not used to having people fighting back. And I'm an old man. What did Rat say? I was 74 years old? Damn, if I'm 74, I look damn good for a 74-year-old man. So I'm a 74-year-old man. I'm a pedophile. I'm all these things, and I continuously stay here and I take it, and I'm not supposed to fight back. Is that what they're saying? No, he has to ask me for the link. He has to come in here and ask me for the link. I'm not going to send him a link. He's a big boy. And he has to be man enough to ask me for the link. Why do you delete everyone who supports MRE? Don't you lose another mod? Didn't you lose another mod last night? Does it matter? I told you I'm not here. I don't care if you support MRE, but if you support him and you come in here and you're nasty, vicious with me, Okay, so here we go. Here you go, Sicilian. Come on in. If anybody else tries to use it, I'm just going to knock you out. I sent it once again right next to my name, my man. All you got to do is touch it. Lord Horatio Nelson, yes, I blocked multiple accounts, hundreds of accounts. I would have over 2,000 subscribers right now if I didn't block people. But if you're in here to destroy my show, I'm going to block you. Well, I sent that out twice, my man. It's up to you to use it right now. I'm not going to get off my show to send you an email. Okay, that beeping you heard in the back is my dryer. I'll have that'll stop shortly. Fear play to F. Here he is. Hold on. Here he is. He's pumping up. He's all ready.
All right, Lee. So you tell me why I need you to make money, or why I need.
No. This is my show. Okay, so let me ask you questions if you're going to be in here.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
first of all, why did you go on your show this morning stating that I got the rat shut down?
Because you did. You told me yourself.
It's a lie.
Nope. Tell me that you didn't tell me on the phone that you send copyright claims.
I absolutely did on the copyright.
There you go.
No.
There's a word for that.
Okay,
Lee.
no. Are you going to let me talk, or are you going to try to jump in?
Go right ahead.
When you send a copyright claim, that's when someone uses your stuff and you get a strike. That has not shutting him down. I know how he got shut down. I got an email. He got shut down by a certain person because that person went in his room and he used racist terms toward that person and kicked him out of his chat room. And that person filed a complaint on him. And that person is also a person that goes in your chat room, comes in my chat room, and went and defended me in his chat room. And because he was Mexican, he called him a name he shouldn't have called him. And that guy reported him. That's what got him kicked out.
So what was your purpose of sending copyright claims? What were you trying to accomplish?
Because he had, okay, good question. Because he had a video of mine where he was knocking me and saying horrible things. I went, instead of shaking it, let me finish. Then I went on his show and I asked him on his show to please take down the video, which I'm entitled to do. And he said, no, I'm not going to take down the video. And I fought copyright claims before and I always win. So I said, okay, I'm warning you. I'm asking you right now to take the video down. So he forced me to put a copyright on him, and I did. And I admitted it.
Would you consider that ratting?
No, absolutely not. It's my property.
Of course not.
It's like coming into my, it's like coming in. You can file a copyright on me for using your clip.
I wouldn't
right
do
now.
that. I'm not a rat.
No, but that's not true. You just said on your show, that you want people to ask you permission to use your stuff.
Yeah. But if they do, I'm not going to tell on them.
Yeah, but that's what you just said, though.
I would like them to ask me first, but if they don't, I'm not going to tell on them. I promise.
Why would you even say it then?
Because the guy used my video without asking. So I said, hey, if you don't mind asking me first, I'd appreciate that and let you use it anyway.
And let me ask you another thing. When you did your first show on me, we were talking a couple hours before that, and you were asking me how to set up your stuff.
Yeah, I know. And you said that was a few days ago, which is weird.
No, it was the same. That was the same day. And then and here's what you did. Instead of giving me a call up and saying, hey Lee, I'm going to do this show on you. You just went with that little snake Jeff, and you did it. You didn't even have the decency. You called me your friend, and you didn't even have the decency to get a hold of me, dude.
That's because, listen, you already knew how I felt about A-Light. You decided to buddy up to him. I was done with you. That was the end of it.
No. Who said that I was ever buddied up to A-Light? Did I ever come to you and say he's my friend?
Did you tell me you talked to him on the phone multiple times last week?
Absolutely not. Did I say that?
Fucking liar.
No, you're lying right now. You're lying. I told you that he contacted me, and I didn't say multiple times. You're lying, dude.
You said 3 times. You said
I didn't. Oh my God, dude, you're lying.
You said he talks on the phone.
You're lying, dude.
He talks in interviews.
You're done. And how did I say that?
You said he talks. He said I can't stand listening to him. He talks to me on the phone the same way he talks in interviews.
And what did I say when he talked to me? I already told you I talked to him. But what did I tell you happened to me when I talked to him? Please tell me.
What happened to you? I don't even know.
Tell you what my opinion. Tell me what my opinion was when I talked to John A-Light.
I don't remember exactly, but
I know exactly what I said. I said it was like sticking a pencil in my eye.
Yeah, but now it's all different, right? Now he's your buddy.
I have not spoken to him. Only time I've seen him is when he's going to come on this show twice.
And you're not going to do an interview? You're going to do an interview with him next week?
You're damn straight I will do an interview with him.
Okay, well, we'll see
if
how
he
that
wants
goes.
to come on here. If he wants to come on here, I'll tell you what. You can come on the show and you can ask him questions.
Oh, gladly. Absolutely.
Okay,
but he'll click off your show.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
He'll click right off your show because I'm going to ask you questions. Go ahead.
Why is it okay for you to be so angry against rats and interviewing, but you'll interview Jimmy Calandra, who was with
Jimmy Calandra's my friend. Jimmy Calandra's my friend. I don't care that he's a rat. You're the one that hates rats. So you can't rat on people and then continue to say you hate rats. And what you did today was ratting.
Me ratting, what did I do today? What did I do today?
You told on MobRats. If somebody robs my house,
I just told you what happened.
If somebody robs my house,
do you want me to send you the email that's told that the person that sent me an email and told me what happened? Do you want me to send you that email?
Who's the email from and how do they know?
Do you want me to send you the email?
I don't care. I don't care. I know what you told me.
No, I didn't tell you anything today.
No, I know what you told me a few days ago.
No, we didn't talk a few days ago. The last
conversation we had.
The last time we talked, you were saying to me, Lee, can you please tell me how to set up my StreamYard?
Lee, I've been on StreamYard for a month. Do you know how retarded you sound? I've been on StreamYard for over a month. Why would I ask that a few days ago?
Are you denying that you asked me about StreamYard?
A few days ago? Yeah, I'm denying. That's insane.
The day that you went on with Jeff, that morning, you asked me on the phone about StreamYard and how to set it up because you were confused. Didn't you ask me that?
I might have had a specific question. Yeah, absolutely. So,
okay. So why would you come call and ask me that and then just stab me in the back?
Because I saw the show you did, Lee. You had to know how I was going to feel about that. But I want to get to something else. If I can ask you a question.
Yes,
you said that when I was, a nobody and I had no shows, that I asked you to do an interview. Are you going to stick by that you didn't ask me to do an interview?
I said you came on my show. We didn't do it. The first time you were on our show, we didn't do an interview. It was me.
That's what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be an interview and Kane Shades was on. But I didn't ask you to come on your show. And I don't need to talk about you. I'm not going to talk about you after today. I'm done with the subject. If you think I need to talk about you, I don't know. You're in another world because I'm doing
dude, how profitable has talking about me been for you the last 3 days?
Not profitable at all. Those videos aren't monetized. I can show you. And why would they be Lee, who are you that putting your name in the title would get me clicks? You're not.
What are you talking about? I'm not talking about monetized. I'm talking about super chats and stuff.
I get super chats no matter what I talk about. You think they're super chatting me because I talk about you?
You get a lot more when you talk about me.
You're so full of yourself. You're getting too close to A-Light. You're getting like him, bro. You're crazy.
Okay, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
You have anything else to say?
No, I'm done. I'm going to Gettysburg.
Okay, you have a good day.
Yep, you too.
Okay, so that's our conversation with him. I wish him the best. He said what he had to say. I'll say what I had to say. And I would never tell you not to go on his show. And I would never let anybody come in this box and blast him, which he does to me continuously. Now I'm going to get to my audience, the one they're trying to destroy. and I will let you guys ask questions. If you guys want to ask me any tough questions, real questions, I'll be glad to answer your question. Because people are saps and donate dollars to, well, I can't answer that. As you know, for me, I'm the one they say that wants the money, but I'm the one that tells you not to give nothing to me. You won't ask A-Light any hard questions, and people in the chat that would you have. Okay, British conservative. Here's my challenge to you. If I have A-Light on, you might turn it down after that conversation I had. So if I bring you on, I'll let you ask the question. So and when he comes on, the questions are going to be asked through the chat room, not through me. I might ask a question or two, but I want people to come into the chat room and ask tough questions. So if you come back here during that time, I'll remember your name, I'll write it down, and I will let you ask a question. Is that fair enough? Lee, do you care about money and super? No, I don't care about them whatsoever. No, let me rephrase that. I care about money, but I don't really care about super chats. I'll be totally honest with you. I do okay with commercials and stuff. I make a little bit of money off of this, not much, but I'm lucky. God bless me. I have a nice home. I got some beautiful dogs. Because of this, I lost a friendship. Because of this whole thing, with lies being talked about with kidnapping, I lost a friendship out of that. And that was the person that was involved. So, I did lose something by having this show. There's no doubt about that. And, if you think that it's fun for me every day to come in and see one thing after another, Amber Alert, kidnapper, all these lies being pushed through continuously, it's not fun. But I'm not going to run away. MobRats YouTube is still, it is on. I'm not sure what's going on there. No, his videos are still running. I'm not sure if he can make videos. I'm hoping that he can. Maybe he got through to them, but he's the one that came out. They're the ones that are saying it's shut down. I got an email this morning saying that from somebody that's saying that they filed something against him because he mocked them for being Spanish. So that's why his show got taken down. It had nothing to do with me. I'll be totally honest with you. If I got his show, I would say it and smile about it, but I wouldn't do that. Sean White, you've been very loyal from the very beginning, Sean, and I appreciate that. But Sean used to have issues with me and ask me tough questions and stuff, and we never really had an issue because of that. Sometimes you got to kidnap a motherfucker. Nobody. Some people are some sick people. Okay. Is it possible that the hip hop and rock cultures were created to destroy Irish mob culture and Italian culture? It is a possibility that biker gangs and rap type gangs were created by the CIA. You know what? I'll be honest with you. 5 years ago, I would have said, this is ridiculous. But when you see what's happening in this country now, does anything sound ridiculous? I mean, look what they're doing. I just read that they're taking the police department that patrols the White House, and they're opening the Capitol Police, and they're opening headquarters in cities around the country now. So they're going to have Capitol Police in other cities and other states. That's scary. Lee, you're a legend in your own mind. A-Lie number 2, you sold out your real friends. You have no integrity. You sell out your own mother for an interview with your rat friends. Let me tell you something, Heather. If you know my mother, you'd sell her out too. FBS is broke, unemployed dude. That is true. God bless him. I hope he makes tons of money. I'll be totally honest with you. Make a fortune, dude. Lee, serious question. Do you honestly think MRI are using you for views? Come on, bro. Just stop, man. Ask yourself this. Why are they continuously doing shows on me when they don't have to? Why are they making me defend myself? I have come on this show how many times and I've said, leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. Now, they told me that this show would not last without all this conflict. Okay, then prove me wrong. Prove it. Just leave me alone. I don't want to come on here every day doing a show. I actually wanted to do a couple shows that are real interesting, not this. You know, one show I want to do is about the couple that were robbing back in the early 90s, that they were robbing the social clubs. That is an interesting story about a husband and wife. And the reason they robbed the social clubs is because the husband, he wanted some trials, and Sammy Gavano was on the stand, and he said that the social club, none of the mafiosos were allowed in the social clubs with weapons. So when this guy heard that, he started going around the city robbing these social clubs. I found it a fascinating story, and I really wanted to do a story on that. I want to do a story on the cartel, on the Boston mob, on the combat zone. There's lots of things I want to do, but if they leave me alone, I'll do the stories. But I can't stay here every day and let them attack me and not fight back. I can't do that. You know, you're talking about people saying Amber Alert. Amber Alert is used for children that are, I have grandchildren. And these people saying this to me have no children. And they're saying this to me. Lee, check Money Dash Cam. He done a short video on you. Money Dash Cam, he did a short video on you. I will do that. Okay. Is that the guy that did the one in Sheepshead Bay? I actually liked that. I thought it was funny. Because he was trying to claim I never lived on Bragg Street. Okay. All hail Lee Cole, your fearless leader. Do not even be scared of a good car chase. It's the truth. You know, this is it. They want you to fold up. They want you to be scared. They want you to run. Now, you just heard Bald Sicilian on here saying that he's not going to do no more shows with me, about me. So he just came on here and said that. So if Bald Sicilian doesn't do anything about me, I will never mention his name again. That I promise. Mob about Uva. Yeah, Uva was the husband and wife. Rob the Mob. There was two movies, but Rob the Mob was actually, they had a very bad ending because the ending showed them parked looking at the city and they were shot and she was hugging them and kissing. That's not what happened. They left their house early in the morning on Christmas Eve. And they went to they went 2 blocks from their house and they were surrounded by 2 guys and they were shot and killed. And then his foot hit the gas and the car went 3 blocks down the street, straight down into an intersection, then it hit a wall. Why they changed that part of what happened in the movie is beyond me, but that's what Hollywood does. They change, you know. Rob the Mob is actually a very good movie. I would tell anybody that's free, and you can go, if you have Amazon, you can actually go on Amazon and watch Rob the Mob for free. And it talks about, it's about 80% accurate, maybe 70%, but it talks about the husband and wife that knocked off these social clubs. He went in with a machine gun. She waited out in the car. And that's how they robbed these social clubs. And they basically said, though, in the end, you know, they talk and make jokes about Junior sometimes, but it was Junior that got to them and resolved the situation. But they did catch the guy, and the guys that admitted to doing it were caught. And one of the guys that was caught was actually a very high-ranking member of the mob. It was humiliating, though. They were robbing the social clubs. They lived within a 3-4 block radius of the social clubs that they robbed. But they say they wind up robbing anywhere from 5 to 10 of them. And the reason the social clubs, no one knew how many, was because these were gangsters. These were social clubs. And they wouldn't call the police to say, hey, look, some guy just came in here with a machine gun and robbed us. Very interesting movie. I would say watch it, but actually read up on it. It's a fascinating story. The guy had balls of steel, to be honest with you. You really believe the unemployed idiot has to say? He says he's going to Gettysburg. I wonder if his wife is paying or he's using money from those poor saps. Give them over to YouTube. Christopher, that's kind of harsh. I don't take anything away from him. I think he has a wonderful wife. And I think that what we have to do, we have to keep the wives out of this. When they started accusing the kidnapping thing with me, they brought the person involved in it, which was really messed up. So I think that, we have a responsibility on here, and I get lost in it too. I make mistakes. I say things that I shouldn't say all the time. And I wish I can catch myself more. We don't realize we have more power than we think we have, and more. And right now, a lot of people are watching us. I have 170 people right now watching live, which is a lot for a Saturday afternoon. Usually your lowest numbers are on a Saturday afternoon. Lee, how many jails, prisons have you done time in? I've been lucky. I never did time in prison, which I came very close to. I was in a unit that was made up like a prison, but luckily I had a great lawyer and I never made it to the prison. And I did the longest possible time you could do in a jail. But you got to remember too, I was locked up at Rikers Island. I was also locked up at Queens House of Detention. Queens House of Detention and Rikers Islands is tougher than any state prison. I mean, you can't even describe Rikers Island. Rikers Island, if any of you has ever been to Rikers Island, you know what a hell Rikers Island is. You don't want to be in Rikers Island. Lico, you've been threatened with 4 attorneys this month. You must be doing something right. Yeah, I have. Let's see. Jimmy Calandra threatened to sue me. That never happened. I knew it wasn't going to happen. He wanted me to take down my interview with him. And that was like a joke, actually. And then Hootie threatened to sue me. And that never happened. I knew that was never going to happen. And but besides that, I'm sure that with lawyers, you never know. You just never know. Lee's been ganged up on, and that's clear to see, but he's hung in there on his own, facing all against them. MRE was always been the same, so he's cool. FBS and the rest just piled on Lee. And you know what? I'm not trying to sound like a little bitch, but that's exactly what happened. It's a pile on. This guy, Jeff, he's the sleaziest weasel of them all. He calls me on the phone. I talk to him about things and he tells people, and he's behind the scenes. There's always someone creeping around behind the scenes causing all the trouble. There's always that one guy. It's like when you go to high school. You remember that one guy in high school? That one guy that was the troublemaker? That's what Jeff is. He's the little troublemaker behind the scenes. So if you hear that, Jeff, that's what I said. American Me, DeBella. Did actual lawyers send letters? No, they did not. And I knew they weren't going to send it. They were literally threats. I literally had Jimmy Calandra threaten to sue me. And he knows he did. He sent me texts threatening to sue me if I didn't take down his video. And I basically told him to go to hell, and it never happened. This is an ugly world we're in. You're dealing with these. You got to remember, these aren't regular gangsters. These are the gangsters that were rats. That's what they were. And you can't really knock them for being rats because they're looking at a long, long time. But you can knock at them at what they say. You have rats that admit they're rats, and then you have people that won't admit they're rats. You'll have people say, I was involved in a murder, but I was just standing next to the guy that did the murder. So I'm not the murderer. If you, as a group of people, murder somebody, and one person in that group shoots somebody, you're all murderers because you planned a crime. There's no way around it. And that's what people have to understand. And then these guys are still trying to minimize what they did. Now, they committed a murder. And you know who I'm talking about. I'm sure you do. But that's the reality of it. Just be man enough to admit it. Wasn't Tekashi 69 at Queens Detention Center? Word on the road that he's snitch. Oh, Tekashi 69 was a huge snitch. I'm surprised that guy's even walking the earth alive. I mean, he snitched on some real serious dudes. And you're talking like gangbangers, that big drug empires and stuff. And he's out there making all this money, and the guys that he snitched on are all sitting in prison. But they all got friends out in the street, so he's walking around with 20, 30 bodyguards. Mickey, I just enjoyed the entertainment value. I love learning stuff about the mob. Yeah, you know what, Mickey? I do too. I'm not a mob historian. I don't come on here pretending to be. I don't know much about the mob. I know what I read. I've known some gangsters, but I don't know much about the mob. I love learning about it. It's fantastic. And some people insult me and say that, I act like I know a lot about the mob. I never act like I know about mob. I have to study before I do something. Like this, the woman and the husband and the wife that held up the social clubs, I had to do a bunch of research on them and go back and find articles and stuff. And I just found it fascinating. Just picture this. You're a husband and wife, and you decide that you guys are broke and you need some money. And you decide to go rob social clubs. Who has the balls to do that? It's a suicide. There's no doubt back then, you're committing suicide. But, and that was right during the John Gotti trial that this was going on, that these social clubs were being robbed. And then a newspaper reporter found out about it, and he did a story, and he was making fun of the social clubs being robbed by this husband and wife. So at first, they just wanted them to be found and beaten up. But once they robbed the second social club, they got a hold of a piece of paper that had a lot of information in one of the wallets. So at that point, the mob wanted them dead. And eventually they got him and they killed him. Jimmy has no money. He can't sue anyone. Well, need money to get a lawyer. That's for damn sure. Lawyers ain't going to do that on Bono. Why is Jeff still picking bets daily? I find nothing but his resignation from Barstool. Yeah, Jeff. Why don't you talk about your Barstool resignation? Why don't you talk about the fact that you got in trouble using, on your show, using Mafia Wikipedia? Talk about that stuff. I didn't want to say this stuff about you, Jeff, but you just decided to put me on full blast when you were on, all of a sudden guys get together and they get tough and rugged. And they think that the old man's just going to sit back and just take that shit. If you come into my sandbox to play with me, I'm going to play with you. That's what it comes down to. The trolls always complain about deleting comments. Now they can see what people really say when we don't block it. Yes. And, I try not to, the only time I'll erase a comment is if it's totally horrible, Or Jeff has a wig from 1978. You know what he did today? He pulled his hair. He did a Donald Trump. He pulled his hair to prove that his hair was real. Jeff, we all know about these modern day wigs now. It's not like it used to be. They got all sorts of surgery for your ear now. And you know what? God bless you if you got to get one. But, don't sit there making fun of people if you're 5'2" with a hair transplant. What are people who they sent to? What about the people who are sent to the can in their place? Okay. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, Thomas. If you want to rephrase that better, I'll answer that question. Oh, look at this one. Oh, Debbie, Amber Alert, Amber Alert. Did you get your big thrill of the day to get that Amber Alert out. Now, Debbie, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go look in the mirror and say, "Dear Lord, why did you make me look like this?" Okay. Debbie's gone. Okay, let's see. Jeff the Rug. Okay. See, Jeff, here's the difference, Jeff, between you and Bald Sicilian. People like Bald Sicilian. A lot of people don't like you. So if you're going to attack people, you're like me. People don't like you. See, I realize people don't like me. You walk around saying, "Why don't people like me?" We all got to pass, Jeff. Me and you. Snake in the grass. Who's the snake in the grass, Willie? Just put a name behind that, please. Lee Cole will remove copyright claims so we can all move on, please. No, I didn't put copyrights on nobody. There's nothing I could do to help his station. I'm sorry, his channel. I would not do that to him. I would put a copyright on something. If you show a video, and here's what the copyright I put on him. He was making fun of me, and he was playing a video for my show, his whole show making fun of me. And then I went in and asked him to take it down, and he said no. Then I filed a copyright on him. But that was like a week and a half ago. So this had nothing to do with what's going on right now. Basically, what he's doing is he's being very disrespectful to people, and he's using gender, he's using race. You know, when you start using gender and race, YouTube is not going to put up with that. Assuming that he has a wig is defamation, Lee. Okay, so take me to court. You know, it'll be the case of the wig. So we're going to sit in court, and they're going to say, "Did you say that he has a wig?" And then he's going to say, "No, I don't, Your Honor." Everybody's going to go pull his hair, and they're going to see I'm wrong, and I'm going to be defamed. He's going to get $25 from me. I mean, oh my God, $49. And you see, I ask people not to send it, you know, but I will say thank you. And but I do ask people not to send it. But you know what that $49.99 will go to? To my granddaughter, not to me. I got grandkids. My grandkids love me, and I love them. My children love me, and I love them. So I can come on here and fight with people. It doesn't matter who loves me here. As long as your children love you. Unfortunately, I can't get any of my partners to love me. But that's just bad luck. But, you know, out of those partners, the one thing I did get is I got some great children, and I got great grandchildren. That's what I got out of those partners. "60% of the comments we block are smashing the other side, not us." Well, I hope not. You know, the only people that should be blocked are the people that come in here real. And I tell that to my moderators, please do not block people unless they are totally, totally aggressive. You know, if they come in here and say, Amber Alert, let them in. I'll just show it, you know, let them have their fun. Jeff the Porn. Well, you know, Maximilian 2215, I'm not going to ask you where that comes from. So we'll just leave that there. Jeff can't pick winners. Ask Bosco. Jeff, you see, Jeff, this ain't me, Jeff. And also, Randy Peters says, "Have dinner on me, Lee. If I'm going to give dollars, I'd rather give it to someone that's not beggar like FBS. He's pathetic." Okay, well, Randy, thank you very much. And I'll tell you what, I will send that directly to my granddaughter. So thank you very much. Okay, FBS was always a snake. He's always saying, MRE, you want to come give me your piece, give your piece. Let leaves my friend, but you can say your piece. Yes, isn't that a famous line? He's my friend, but you know, I was never his friend. He didn't look at me as a friend. He was looking to jump all over me. But you know what? still go watch his show, especially when he has his wife on. His wife is fantastic on the show. You really should watch that. I like doing that couple thing. I think it's good. So it's just good for YouTube. But unfortunately, last time he had his wife on, he spent half that time talking about me. Have her on and just talk about your life. That's why she's there, not to talk about me. Family, most importantly. Brooklyn Guy, there's nothing more important than family. That's why I can come on here and I could fight. My brother, as most people know, committed suicide in February. Last year, I lost another, my sister died. And the year before that, my brother died. And they were all the youngest. I come from a family of 11, and they were all the youngest in our family. So our family has gone through a lot. It's just been devastating. It's devastating when you lose your youngest people in your family. So, when people want to come in here and attack me and stuff, and they think that they know me or whatever, they don't understand what my emotions are, what I'm going through. In a way, having this, first I wanted my son's channel. And then when he realized that, he comes from a younger crowd, we decided I was going to go back here. I did not know I was going to catch on so quick once I started doing true crime, but I did. Unfortunately, we didn't stay on true crime. So now we're on this Lee's a kidnapper and shit. That's the thing, so they'll come at you without facts, because that's not true, but they're still going to come at you with that. And it's really brutal shit that they're doing. I mean, you're talking brutal shit, attacking. I mean, come on. But whatever floats their boat. I'm not like a tough guy in the street no more. Never a big fighter. Could handle myself, but a lot of guys whip my ass. But here, I think I'm a pretty tough guy. FBS would drop to his knees for that. He doesn't have a paycheck. And I hope he gets one. Working when you're a man, especially when you're in your 30s, means everything. Having a job. Another thing you people don't know about me, I own 3 restaurants in my life. And after this horrible thing happened in Colorado, I became a restaurant owner. I got my life together and I opened up a restaurant in the Ozarks. And, I enjoyed it, and then my body couldn't take it anymore, so I sold it. But the fact of the matter is, I was a restaurant owner, and then I owned a restaurant in Burlington, Vermont, which is still in business. And I owned a restaurant in St. Augustine, Florida, which is still in business. They're not my restaurants, but the people who bought at them still have these restaurants in business. So, I must have done something right at times in my life. And these people attacking me, they're not like me. They're not like the working man. I'm the working man. I committed crimes in my life, had stupid periods in my life, but I always worked my ass off. Lee, you said you didn't do that to MRE first 15 minutes of the show. Now you did Mr. Stand-Up Guy. And now you did. What are you talking about, Corey? I said I put a copyright claim on something he was using. Now, if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm not going to repeat it again. You're going to have to go back and watch the video. Or you can come in at the last second and then come up with a statement like this. I think Kane Shades was great, but I think he ended the show way too. You know what? And he's doing his own thing now. Everybody that I've been involved with this, he's the best guy. That's it. I joke with him. I said that he took off before the wheels fell off and stuff like that. But I respect the fact that he's doing his own show now, and he's not attacking nobody. He's just doing a show. He was honest about why he left the show. He was totally honest. And he's doing his own thing now. Let's wish him the best. And, go subscribe to, he calls his show the Bodega. Friday Night Bodega. So go to his show, watch it. I think it's entertainment. And I'll tell you what, out of everybody that I've been involved with that has anything to do with this type of these shows and stuff, he is by far the most intelligent out of everybody when it comes to doing videos, making things. He understands how to make videos, and he just knows how to do characters and all that. So I would say Kane Shade was on my show. I wish he stayed. He decided not to. So I only wish him the best. Listen, I'm not going to answer you, Fat Bald Sicilian. We had our conversation. We're done. So if you want to ask me a question, you got my phone number. You call me. Our debate's over. You go do your thing. I'll do my thing. That's what you just said. You said you're going to do your thing. I'm going to do my thing. We had our little debate here. I'm not going to get into that anymore. Kane Shade was great last night. It sucks that he ended the show early, but I think he'll get better in time. Yeah. But you know what? Like I said, he's much more clever than the other people doing their shows. He'll be fine. Kate Jackson, you use other clips and videos too. They didn't copyright you. It's part of YouTube. No tits for tats. Let it go. Kate Jackson, you're absolutely wrong. People can copyright people anytime. I didn't copyright him until I went onto his show and asked him. And I'm going to explain this one more time. I asked him to take the video down, and he refused. That's when I filed the copyright against him. I didn't just do it like overnight or something. I went on his show first and asked him. And his exact words were, go F yourself. You're not going to be able to take the video down. I know how to fight this stuff. I've done this before. That's what he said to me. So he overestimated how much skill he had. FBS, you were on the show and you said you had to go. Why are you trolling? That's pretty much it. You know why he's back here? Because people are saying some things about him he doesn't like. And he's used to being loved and liked. So go do your own show now, dude. Me and you are done. And you'll get schlub over there. You leave me out of your mouth, I leave you out of my mouth. Oh, so this is bothering you. I'm going to read this one. You convinced me to do super chats after I told you I don't want to because I feel it's like asking for money. Yes, you did do that. I'm not denying that you did it, but the fact of the matter is you do say it now. And I said to you, there's no reason not to do super chats. I didn't tell you you had to take the money. I told you that you're offering people your show. They decide whether they give you the money. So that's it. So if you're trying to catch me in something, you're not going to catch me in nothing, dude. You know, you basically made that decision. And then you had MobRats say that he doesn't want to do he doesn't care about super chats, but he put up a place to send money and not even a super chat. Why did he do that? And then he was making fun of me and said, I'm doing that because Lee Cole doesn't like that, or Lee Cole was saying something about it. He used me for an excuse to put up an area to get his money at. So, you know, go do your thing, dude. It's a job. Go do it. But you know what? I'm going to ask you, Bald Sicilian, stop using your job to attack me and go do some real stuff. You're capable of doing real stuff. You and your wife, you're great together. Go do some stuff with your wife. I mean, you guys think, here's what you guys think, and this is where you guys fuck up. You think that you got me down. You think that you're beating the shit out of me and everything, and I'm just going to go away. Let me tell you something about me. I'm a lot older than you guys, and I've been around the block a lot longer, so you guys can do this shit. But unless I have a fucking heart attack, I drop dead, and I know what some people are saying, oh, you might any minute, and I might. But you know what? I'm not going anywhere. Lee, you used Sonny's video on your channel. Did you? No, I didn't ask him. And he has every right to file copyright against me. That's his right. But he didn't do it. So Ask yourself that. If he does not want me to use his video, he could do a copyright and I will lose. That's the reality of it. I wouldn't lose on Sonny's video. But if you're using a video to attack somebody from their site, I mean, that's totally different. You know, Sonny's actually come a long way. And he's a lot smarter than people gave him credit for in the beginning. If you watch any of your videos, any of his videos, which I do all the time, I think he does the best imitation of Jimmy Calandra I've ever seen. If you want to see something funny, go watch Sonny Money imitating Jimmy Calandra. It is freaking funny. Lee, did you see how FBS perked up when A-Light got into his chat room? I didn't know. No, it's the other way around, Joey. Did A-Light really go in his chat room? I didn't know that. But, you know, if he did, I hope he asked some good questions. FBS, you're like an old Irish woman at a bingo hall. Okay. What's with doing super chats? Well, super chats is something you put up and people give you money sometimes, and some people need them because they're doing the show. Some people just need them because they're in situations of their life where they need it. God bless them. Let them get tons of them. I'm not in this situation in my life where I need them. You know, the good Lord has treated me good in the last couple of years of my life. So I just thank God about that. FBS, you skeed it out, show them the door, beat it. Oh my God. See, FBS, you're starting to learn that sometimes we're not as popular as we think we are. We become legends in our own mind. FBS, Judas, these are all new names, FB. I don't recognize some of these names going after you, FBS. So, I mean, I think that we've come to a good conclusion here, having this treaty between the two of us. Retiree Lee, you are old and washed up. You sound like one of my last ex-wife, dude. That's why she left me. Matter of fact, that's exactly what she said to me. She said, you're old and washed up. And she left me for a younger man. I'll take indica over sativa any time of the day. You know, do you want to sleep or you want to stay awake? I mean, that's the key. Some people like it for pain. You know, I remember living in Colorado. And the one thing I miss about Colorado, I was in Pueblo. I can go and go to Pueblo, and they had a nice store there where you could buy weed, any type. But I always found it amazing because I grew up in New York, and I used to go to the Bronx and go to a place called the Hole in the Wall. And it was a rough section of the Bronx. Me and my friends, we would drive there, and we'd go down, and there's a hole in the door, and we would ask for a nickel bag, a dime bag, and they would hand us to the hole. And then all of a sudden, here I am in Pueblo, Colorado. You go into a pot shop, a pot store. They got 3 levels of marijuana there. They got bronze, silver, and gold. And then they have a 4th one called platinum, and it's 4 levels of the strength of the marijuana. I always found that amazing, especially the fact that if you smoke some of that stuff from the gold, man, that ain't like the weed I used to get when I was growing up. Because when you got a nickel bag back in my day, you never knew what the hell you were getting in that nickel bag. It could be oregano for all you know. I mean, now you know what you're getting. That's marijuana is nothing like it used to be. I see some ball fat Sicilian insults. I'm not going to put them up because it's, you know, that would be kind of like what I'm complaining about him doing to me. So you bought weed instead of paying your motel bill. It was a hotel, dude. It wasn't a motel. It was a hotel. It was a fancy hotel. It was a really nice hotel, as a matter of fact. So George Finn, if you want to know the details about it, email me. I'll tell you the details about it. I'm not going to get in this discussion. I don't run up no $5,000 bill at a motel. And someone said I lived there for 6 months. It was for a month. Okay. It was like $100 a night, 140, 150. And everything that I owed them, they got paid back. every dime. Plus, on top of that, additional restitution. So I don't owe them no money. So here's a challenge I'll make to you, George Finn, and here's what people say to me: how the hell did you ever get them? How did you ever get a motel at this fancy level not to charge your card? You know, why don't you ask me that? Isn't that more of a different question than how? I challenge anybody here to go run up a $5,000 bill at any hotel. You could never do it because they run your card continuously every day. It's an unfortunate situation, but you could bring that up. I don't really care if you bring it up. I'll tell you whatever you want to know about it, but I'll do it in my email. At least FBS had street cred. Who the F is yours? OSEN lead generate. Let me tell you something, Clarabella. I can guarantee you one thing. I got 10 times the street cred that he does. You know very little about me, dude. I literally grew up in the streets. When I was 16 years old, I ran away from home and lived in Times Square, the old Times Square, and survived as a human being. So believe me, I know a lot about the streets. If I lived most of my life in New York City as a real New Yorker, I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in Astoria, Queens. I lived in Bay Ridge. I lived in Manhattan. I lived in the Lower East Side. I lived down by the Village. I lived in Astoria, Queens. I mean, by Ditmars Boulevard. Is that street enough for you, dude? Kara, or I'm not sure if you're a guy or a girl, but either way, is that not street cred enough? I guess somebody from Pennsylvania has more street cred than a guy growing up in New York on the streets. FBI should be named to channel the bull. So I'm not going to. Jeff Oscar Goldman wig. Okay. Joey Bagadonis. Times Square in the 80s and 90s was like a pop porn. You're not joking, dude. I'll tell you what. I first arrived there in 1976 and spent the first 2 years before I went to the combat zone. And I worked in the combat zone for 2 years. So I spent my life, the beginning of my life, the first 2 years in Times Square and the next 2 years in the combat zone. Two of the toughest areas to live, period. I mean, you know how sleazy it was. The difference between me and other kids at that time is I like to work. So I worked. I literally slept in the basement of some of the places that I worked. One place I worked at this one place where I slept. They had an office, and every night I would sleep in the office. And I was just a kid, and that's growing up on the street. Now, if that's not street cred, I don't know what street cred is. Life happens, Lee. We all make mistakes along the way. Don't get caught up in the negative laugh at it. You know what, Kate? One of the things that I am really glad about is that a lot of people haven't abandoned me here, and they easily could have. The way I've been portrayed, falsely portrayed by these people. So, you know, I like to thank people that have hung around and stayed here. You know, it burns them up. I have 170 people right now watching, and it's midday Saturday. Midday Saturday is the hardest time to be previewed because everybody's out. So, thank you. Someone was just asking, I don't know, Lee, when you interview John A. Light, will you question him about cutting off the wiener off people that he killed and eating them? Okay, I don't. Elizabeth, I'll tell you what, if you're here, I'll let you ask that question because I really don't know what to say about that question. I lived on a street once, but now I live on a road. Okay. Yeah. You know, Robinson, you really got a clever sense of humor. Some of the shit I read that you write down, it makes me laugh my ass off. Okay, Lee, did you see your ex co-host show last night with all the clips of you knocking you? If that's what he did, that's fine. You know, I'm not going to do that to him. I'm hoping that he doesn't become like the other ones. But you know what the reality is? He started here too. He started on my show. You know, so I'm not gonna, I'm not worried about him. If he needs clips, I just want to see him get to 1,000 and move on from there. Lee, all respect to you, tell us, what is going to be the hardest question you ask A-Light, please? If I asked you the hardest question I was going to ask A-Light, then he would be ready for it. So I can't really say. I promise you I'll ask tough questions, but actually I'm not going to ask too many questions. I'm going to let the chat room do that. It's better to let the chat room do that. Then we can keep it, and I'm going to, and the people that are the most loyal people on the show here are the ones that I will let ask the questions, to be honest with you, with some good ones thrown in. Florida attorney, weed is illegal in Florida thanks to the conservative Supreme Court who overrode the will of the voter. And you know what? It's bullshit, but weed has its negatives and positives. Legal weed has destroyed the state of Colorado. And it's been good in other states. Every state's different. But it has not helped the state of Colorado because of all the people coming from the outside. You can't even, the state of Colorado has changed so quickly, it's too fast. And a lot of it has to do with the marijuana. But I think each state should have the voters decide whether weed is legal or not. Let the voters vote. Yes, I am really curious about how you manage the hotel thing. ID considered doing it. Laugh out loud. Kidding. Ryan, you know what? See, that's the question. That's the real question. Not, Lee's a scumbag. He ran up a $5,000 bill in a hotel. The question is, how the fuck did he do it? Do you know that when I went before the judge, you know what the judge said? How the hell did you run that bill up that high? That's what the judge said. He said, the judge literally looked at me and said he was shocked that a bill got ran up that high. But I'm not going to get into this, because then it becomes like I'm bragging about how I did it. And I don't want to do that. I'm going to do a couple more here. I'll be on for another 13 minutes, but I'll just keep asking questions. They're coming in. Well, MobRat exposes a hypocrite, in my opinion. I'm not bashing the channel. It's just my opinion. FBS putting on his Civil War reenactment uniform, getting ready to. Gosh almighty, you people are brutal. And you did this to me too, so. I like FBS until he hooked up with Jeff. The worst thing he ever did was hook up with Jeff. I don't think that's a good fix for him. He likes it. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good fix. I think Jeff should do his own shit. I don't think that you should have to ride off other people's tailwinds. And that's what Jeff's doing right now. He's riding off other people's tailwinds, just showing up. And it's not cool, man. I was wondering, okay. My email, I'm going to put my email at the end of the show. Anybody want to ask me questions, just send it to my email. I'll put the email down in 10 minutes. I was under Deanna Tyndall's name, right, at Lee Cole 3. It was under Deanna Tyndall's. No, it was not. It was not under her name. It was my credit card. But if you want to write that, George, you can. And plus, she wrote her name wrong. Lee, did you ever meet any mobsters while living in New York? Yeah, all the time. Many of them. I tried to avoid them because mobsters are pretty mean dudes. I knew one guy that was a close associate, and he had as big a name as you can have. But, usually when you're not Italian and you know mobsters, they want something from you, they want you to work for them, or you owe them money. And if you owed them money, you did not want to know them. Luckily, I never borrowed money from the mob. I knew a little bit better than to do that. I could never be that desperate. Junior was a so-called boss, was scared of Joe Watts, an associate. He says it himself. You know how many people were scared of Joe Watts? Everybody was scared of Joe Watts. Probably the only person would be Gas Pipe. I mean, Joe Watts was a killer. Joe Watts was a badass. I mean, that's the reality of it. If Joe Watts was looking for you, you had a problem. Gas Pipe, Joe Watts, those two guys were looking for you, you had a problem. Because they were going to find you and they were going to kill you. And if you were Sammy Gravano's partner, you had a problem. Hello, Lee. I came from a car city. We owned a junkyard on Foster Avenue. I can imagine, man, that's a pretty rough area. But that was an exciting area back in the 70s and 80s. FBS is buried today. Who's next? Lee's going to knock him down. Well, I don't want to do that. I just want everybody to just cut this attacking shit off. I don't want to be here every day defending myself. You know, people think I want to do this. No, if I'm going to attack people, I want it to be for the right reasons. You know, and, you know, you have to pick the right people to attack. You know, I was attacking Sammy Gravano. You know, that's what I want to do. People like Sammy Gravano, who's like the ultimate scum of the world. Let me tell you something. Sammy wasn't scared of Joe Watts. Bullshit. Everybody was scared of Joe Watts. Sammy was an opportunist. And if you turned your back on him, and if you were a partner of his, he was going to put a bullet in your head. And if John Gotti beat the charges, and Sammy beat the charges the last time, that whole thing didn't go down, I'm sure Sammy would have tried to kill him, or John Gotti would have killed him. One of those guys is going to go down. If FBS reenactment might use Jeff to shoot out of a cannon. At one time, Skinny Razor was the most feared man in America. Joe Watts was brutal. Yes, he was. You know, looking forward. Yep, and you know, and I'm looking forward to it also. Don't have an exact day on it, but we're working on a certain day. I don't want to announce that day until it's for sure. I think Jeff's last job was at the circus being shot. Okay, why did I do that again? I don't want to do that again. Okay, how do you know Sammy? No, I didn't say Sammy was a scared man. Someone compared him with Joe Watts. If you were going to send Sammy looking for Joe Watts, who would you put your money on? If they were just out there looking for each other. Sammy was all about the money. That's what Sammy was about. Joe Watts was about killing. He was just a brutal man. Sammy was killing people for money. His partners especially, or anybody that could have had something on him. Those are the people that he killed. Joe Watts went out and would just kill you if you looked at him wrong. And I'm not a mob historian, but I know what I've heard about him. I started you when you played Fear and listened to both sides. Keep it up. Thank you, Dennis Miller. I appreciate that. You know, right now, you know, they're talking about how the stations will become extinct. I think we're proving them wrong. I'm going to be on for 6 more minutes, people, just so you know. Lee, there is no honor in the life, regardless who is a rat or not. They all backstab. Oh, without a doubt. It's like that when they talk about that video that John Gotti made and Sammy heard it. If you know gangsters, that's all they do is talk behind each other's back. It's part of their life. They all talk about each other. That's what they do continuously. So that's why that whole thing with John Gotti doing the tape is overrated. He was saying something that he thought was in private. He had no idea that it was bugged. Come on, it was on top of the Ravenite. It was the last place that he thought was going to be bugged. And then he said a lot of things on that tape, But none of the stuff that he said was nothing that all these other gangsters don't say about each other. That's what they do. These are all guys with violent tempers and anger issues. And they're bitching, moaning, and groaning all the time. Yes, the chat room asks the questions. It takes the heat off you. Yes, and that's the plan. And I like to, I'm one of the few people that really like going into the chat room and just and talking to people. People come here to discuss things, and if I miss you, I'm sorry, but there's so many people coming in, and I'm just trying to get to as many as I can. I like to get to real solid questions. If John Gotti would beat the case, he would have lasted long in the streets anyway. The Chin was picking his men off. Yeah, the Chin was. People don't realize the Genovese family was much more powerful than the Gambino family. They had more guns. They were bigger, smarter. John Gotti had some loyal killers, but the Chin, he just had a huge, huge army behind him. The more I read in that guy, the more impressive he becomes. He's very underrated in the history of mafia lore. And isn't he the one that also shot Castellano? Not Castellano. I'm sorry, Costello in the doorway. He actually, I think Chin shot him and he retired from the mob. He didn't want no part of it anymore. And he got a head wound. He didn't kill him, but he wounded him. And Costello wanted out. And I might be wrong there, Don Vito. Please correct me if I am, but I think that's what happened. As Alike told you not to ask certain questions or stay away from particular subjects when you interview him, absolutely not. Wouldn't do that anyway. He has not asked that at all. I can honestly say that. When it's brought, yes, they all spent half their time on each show. Wasn't Gaspike picking Gotti's guys off with the cops? Sure, Chin had a hand, but I think it was Casso mainly still over Heidel thing. And yeah, I'm not, and Casso too. Unfortunately, he met a really horrible ending from a situation he never seen coming or nobody else seen coming. I heard the tape of Cardi Corner refuting Sammy's stories about John wanting him to take the fall. I heard Gotti say he didn't want Sammy going to jail. Yes, that was in the tape. But people forget that. Chin shot Costello, right. But the Chin was number one boss in New York, not John Gotti. Yes. Yep. The difference is John Gotti was more flamboyant. He was out there. And the Chin, he walked with a robe up and down the street. He had, what a clever thing that he did, Okay, Castellano would have been locked up. Castellano would have been locked up. Yeah, he would have been locked up. He had a lot of charges coming up, but he was a very sick man. People don't realize he was like very sick. And as Sammy knows, Sammy says he had a nice penis pump, and which was kind of sick in itself. Okay, well, let's see. We got a minute and a half. I'm going to try to take one or two more questions. I thought, I'm not giving away my hard-earned dollars to anyone on YouTube. You know what? I kind of agree with you, Brian. I'm hoping, Bryn or Brian, I hope I'm saying your name right. I kind of agree with you, too. I have a hard time giving my money away. When my son asks me to borrow money, he has a YouTube station. What I'll do is I'll go to his YouTube station and I'll give him money through his YouTube. So, FPS Dave Suck, Lee shows so much. I'm glad you believe that. And I'm trying to talk to you guys and do a good show. It's not easy just to come in here and talk. It gets difficult at sometimes. And I always wonder every day whether anybody was going to show up. They arrested Chin one time and he was in the shower with a robe on and an umbrella, I heard. Not true. Would it surprise you with the Chin? He probably had the robe sitting someplace so he can grab it and had the umbrella already hanging up in the shower. So he could and he was not even anything crazy. That guy was just as smart as a fox. Willie Boy Johnson, he met a horrible ending. Unfortunately, he met a horrible ending. And he got killed because they gave his name away in court. They killed him. They literally gave his name up. And he should have gotten out of town once they did that. But Willie Boy Johnson was so tough. He said, "Fuck these guys. They're not going to be able to hurt me." He was wrong. They hurt him. They killed him. Never seen one show of MobRats. Thank God they took his annoying voice off of YouTube. A lot of people say that. My dollars goes to my kids and my grands. That's where mine go too. Okay. We got to get one. Lee, you became a vindictive narcissist. This has to be one of my exes. It has to be. Because I heard that. Okay. Well, people, I wanted to end the show with that. Lee, you become a vindictive narcissist. Gives me something to think about. Vincent, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, and I appreciate everybody for coming here. Thank you so much. And I'll try to do a show tomorrow, and hopefully I won't have to be attacking anybody. We could do a good show on other stuff. But thank you all. I appreciate it. God bless you all. And I'm sorry if I lose it sometimes and get off subject and act a little crazy. But I do appreciate you being here. Thank you.